Hey, thanks for joining me for a thought for today. In the political world, is it the left or the right that seems to display the most hate toward their opponents? Think about that. Now, I think that most of you know that I'm a Republican. Some might even call me a MAGA Republican because I support most of what President Trump does. But concerning this area of hate, which party really seems to be the displayer of the greatest amount of hate? Well, I want to go to a Democrat and get his perspective on this because being a Republican, I might be biased in this, and so I want you to hear it from a Republican, or from a Democrat, excuse me. Now, I was listening to David Rubin on what he calls, his podcast is called The Rubin Report. And he had a little clip on there that I want to play for you in a few moments, and it has John Fetterman on it. Now, John Fetterman is a Democrat. He's a senator from Pennsylvania. But as a politician, he seems to be one of those few that has some common sense. And that's a quality that it seems to be lacking quite a bit in D.C. these days. But he suffered, a few years ago, he suffered a stroke, and subsequently he also suffered a season of Great Depression. And he was asked by Dana Bash of CNN News in this interview that you're going to see here in a few moments about something about a statement that he'd made in a book that he wrote. And the answer that he gives, I believe, also answers the question that I'm asking in this podcast. So I want you to listen to John Fetterman and this interview with Dana Bash. Just listen to it now.
Write about that in your book. You said, quote, "I've drunk deeply of the venom of both the left and the right. As a connoisseur, I can confirm that the most poisonous, the bitterest, is from the far left." That is pretty remarkable to hear you say that as an elected Democrat. Why?
No. It's just been my personal experience on this thing. And when I asked my digital team, I said, we're on all the platforms. Really, what's kind of the harshest? What's kind of the most personal? And the answer was immediate. He said, "Oh, blue sky. It's blue sky." And the difference is, the right would say really rough things and names. Some names I won't repeat on TV, but the on the left, it was like they want me to die, or that we're cheering for your next stroke, or that's terrible that depression won. Why couldn't it depression won? And I hope your kids find you. They even have like the graphic, a GIF where they have like a stroke, in your head, cheering at that. Yeah, and they said that. I remember one, they claimed, the doctor let us down, and why did they have to save his life? Just really, I just can't imagine. People are wishing, I wish he dies, or I want him to die, literally cheering for a stroke. And I don't know what the kind of a place where that comes from. That's much different than just calling me a name. That's really been consistent, in that community online.
Now, I've got to tell you, I wasn't surprised by John Fetterman's answer and his reply. But I also want to say that neither side, neither party is without sin in this area of hate. But it was interesting that when he asked his team about this, that immediately they said the term blue sky, which referred to the far left part of the Democrat Party. But then he made a statement toward the end of that interview, and I want to read it to you. He says, "I don't know what kind of place that comes from." He was talking about all the venom that had been spewed at him by those on the far left, and he said, "I don't know what kind of place that comes from." Well, I believe the answer to that statement really shares what the source of this hate is, and I believe it's demonic forces that have control of the far left of the Democrat Party. Now, I don't believe all Democrats have this kind of hate. I really don't believe that all Democrats do. But those that do display this kind of hate, all of them, if not all of them, but most of them, say that they're Democrats. As David Rubin shared in his podcast, and I believe it's true, that if John Fetterman went to, say, a Trump rally, I don't believe he would be spewed with a bunch of hate. No, I believe he would be welcomed. I believe he'd even be cheered by those that are there because he went to a Trump rally. It's part of the reason why I prefer the Republican Party and why I feel come November that all of us ought to vote Republican. Now, you may or may not agree with me on that, but that's okay. I hope you still love me because I love you. And I hope you have a great day and a wonderful year. We love you guys. Bye-bye.